What is going on, guys? It is Parker here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the new and improved Sundown SA-V2. This thing has a new basket, bigger coil, and a higher RMS rating, so stay tuned for this, guys. Alright guys, super excited to be testing this out. Have been wanting to do this since it came out. This is, of course, the SA-V2. Now, the SA has really been Sundown's most popular model pretty much forever, so it's really cool that they finally updated it. We have a new basket and just several other really good things. Now, one quick thing I do want to mention for y'all Sundown purists or whatever you want to call yourselves, who are always commenting on my videos saying that Sundown is way better than anybody else because they are 100% made in America. They are most certainly not 100% made in America. Some of their higher model subs are assembled in America and have some parts made in America, but I'm pretty sure even those have some Chinese parts on them, guys. It's just how you run a business in today's world. Anyway, just because it's made in China doesn't mean it is bad or anything. It still looks like to be an awesome sub, so let's get right into it. So here's the sub, guys. Just my first impression. It definitely looks just overall kind of bigger and beefier and better than the Sundown version 1 Rev 3 that I reviewed before. Just get a quick look up at it. Obviously it's a Sundown sub, so the quality is just absolutely excellent. Now before I get into it, I want to give a huge shout out to my buddy Bryce for letting me test out this sub. He bought this brand new, never used it, and he told me I could just go ahead and make a review on it. So that is what we are doing here. Again, huge shout out to him. Definitely nice to be reviewing a sub that I don't have to pay for, because it does get pretty expensive buying all these subs. We're just going to go over the specs real quick. Now it is right about $300, so it did get a price bump, where the old one was generally about $220 or so. We have a mounting depth of 7 3/8 inches. The magnet has been increased in size a little bit. Of course, there's a different basket on it. It does have improved venting. We now have a 2 3/4 inch voice coil over the 2.5 that we used to have. Of course, it has a cast aluminum basket, but we have upgraded tinsel leads. And then it says for a ported box for the 12, it's 1.75 cubic feet, tuned to about 35 hertz. I had to go to a different site to find some other specs. Sundown's website does not have any specs on there at the moment. Hopefully they'll update that soon. The nominal ohms is 3.91, so pretty close to your standard 4 ohms, so that's good. The FS is 38.87 hertz. Don't know why this is that for XMAX. I just copied it by accident. So you can see a few of those other specs there. Well, let's start at the top here. We have a very nice and stiff dust cap and a pretty stiff cone as well. Not the stiffest cone I've felt, but it is a lot stiffer than several other cones. And then we have kind of a medium roll surround. I wouldn't really consider it a high roll surround. Now, it's kind of funny, the SA-8 actually has a taller surround than this guy has here. It looks almost like the surround on the X, so kind of funny there. And then here we have this kind of tray that goes over the top of this. That's aluminum or something that bolts on instead of your normal gasket. So that is a little odd. Instead of having a normal gasket, you have these just stick-on gaskets that go on the bottom. And then we have a really nice cast aluminum basket. This is the same basket you'd get on the U-Series subs. Moving along, we have double sewn-in tinsel leads. These things are big and beefy. I love it. They are awesome. Big improvement over the last ones, which just had single leads going into them. And then they are soldered and glued onto here with bolts. And then we have our terminals. They feel very secure. And then we have our motor, which is an upgraded over the previous motor. And then, of course, we have center venting and pole venting, so cooling really shouldn't be an issue. We also have cooling through here. Now, this brings me into my only really big complaint with this sub, and that is these terminals. They are tiny, guys. You could fit 12 gauge in there, but that's about it. And if you needed to run 2 strands of 12 gauge in there to run in parallel or series, it's going to be a really, really tight squeeze. No idea why they do this. Other than that, it looks like an awesome sub. Well, let's get a little closer look up at it, just so y'all can see. I might grab that 8-inch just so you can kind of compare them. There are those nice leads. There's that copper coil. And then, of course, a nice shiny bottom. Just a super quick comparison, guys. Here is the SA-V2. Just so you can see, this thing has a massive surround on it. It's just kind of funny, the smaller sub has a bigger surround than its bigger brother over here. Who knows why they did that. But it is pretty cool. This guy's motor is almost as big as the SA-12. So, just something really interesting. This little sub is a monster, beastie little 8 of a sub. We'll be making a video testing this one out here soon. But anyway, guys, yeah, here is the new Sundown SA-V2. Let's get this thing in a box, let it break in for a while, and then get to playing it and doing some testing. Yeah, guys, so that's just the overview of the new SA-V2. Looks really, really awesome. But, of course, we're going to get it in a box, let it break in for a while, and then do some testing. We're going to do some musical testing just to see how it sounds and how it performs. And then we're going to do some dB test with my box just to see what we can get to. And then from there, we're going to do a Rms Power Test. Yeah, we'll have my AMM1 hooked up so we can see the Rms power. And we'll see if it can last a full song at its 1,000 watts. And see how it does, see if it gets stinky or hot or anything, or if it just blows through it, no problem. Alright guys, let's get to it. Well guys, we have this thing in here and we have been trying it out. Now I've got it in my SCAR box. I'm sure I'm going to get grilled in the comments for having a Sundown in a SCAR box, but this box is about 2 cubic feet, tuned to 36 hertz, which was the closest thing I had to the specs for this sub, whereas this box is just much too big. So, that is what we are going with, and it sounds really awesome, guys. All throughout the spectrum, it sounds pretty good, and it even gets nice and low. I did have to take the top plate off for it to fit, but no issues there. Now, real quick, sneak peek for another video coming up soon. Leave your guess in the comments of what this is. You'll probably guess. There's really only 2 options it could be, but yeah, just leave in the comments what you think this bad boy is. Don't know if I had the camera on the AMM1 or not there, but we were pushing like 2,000 watts during that song, and it was making it max out, but not terribly, and still sounded pretty good, minus it just kind of maxing out there at the peaks. But yeah, guys, taking a ton of power and handling it pretty well. We have the SPL meter hooked up. This is the SPL Lab mini base meter. And we have the AMM1 hooked up as well, so we can see what max power we're putting through to this sub. We have the box pointing towards the back, and we're going to start it out at 45 hertz and see what it does. Alright, a 138, and that was only 695 watts. Alright guys, a 142.1, and then we have 3,549 watts. There we go, 143.5 at 4,662 watts. Well guys, that is an awesome score off of just one sub, and the sub wasn't even maxing out. Probably could have gone a little bit louder, but there's no point to really push it too hard here. Again, this is not my sub, but still putting well over 3 times its rated power to it in those bursts, and it did just fine. And then also, if we tune this box a little higher, we probably could get louder as well. So overall guys, very impressive score, especially considering that this car is so big. It is now time for the RMS test. Got everything hooked up, got the AMM1 hooked up and ready to go. Of course, this is a 1,000 watts RMS, but it's Sundown, so it should take that no problem. My goal is to keep it as close to that 1,000 watts as I can, and maybe even just stay a teeny bit above it, just to kind of reiterate the fact that these Sundowns are underrated and perform really, really well. Well guys, let's get to it. We have Off These by JID. It's a pretty bass heavy song throughout the whole thing, so we're just going to play it. It's about 3.5 minutes. Kept it basically above 1,000 watts there the majority of the song. Now I will say this dust cap is a little on the warm side, but that is alright. Didn't have any issues, no smoke coming out of the port, and she did good and it sounded fine the whole way through, guys. So this passes my musical RMS test. So that was the new Sundown SA-V2. I hope you all enjoyed that. Hope you found that useful. If you're thinking about picking one of these up, overall guys, it is a really awesome sub. Just from having several Sundown subs, I have noticed how much detail they put into build quality, and just the attention to detail in the Sundown is just absolutely excellent. That being said, they are a little pricey and they definitely do charge some for their name, but they put a lot of R&D into their stuff and people are willing to pay it. So that's just kind of how a business works. Anyway guys, overall, thought it was a great sub. Really did like it. Now I'm thinking about making a video going over the best sub for right around that $300 mark. So we'd of course have this sub. We probably have that Def Bonce that I did, the Apocalypse that I did a few weeks back, maybe the American Bass HD, maybe a Scar, just a couple subs in there so we can kind of compare and contrast them, guys. So stay tuned for that. Anyway guys, I really appreciate you. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Y'all are going to love this Scar video when I get it up and out. This is the most expensive sub in that box right now that I've ever bought. So y'all stay tuned for that. Anyway guys, thank you all so much for watching. There will be links in the description to where you can pick up this sub. Those are affiliate links, so if you purchase it through those links, I do get a little bit of a commission, which helps out the channel, helps me buy more subs to review for y'all. So thank y'all so much, and y'all have a wonderful day.